It's not every day you come to City Hall to pay some bills and see Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens doing yoga in the atrium. But then October was Peace Month in the city, an initiative led by the mayor to remind residents that there are many different ways to avoid conflict and violence.
Big breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3,
and what better way to find inner peace than through the time-honored techniques of yoga?
And then exhaling again, elongate from your...
There's a great saying, it's peace is an inside job. And yoga is really about cultivating a relationship with self, learning how to manage and regulate emotions and any sort of unintentional or intentional, conscious or unconscious harm that we might be creating internally.
And for the residents and employees who couldn't make it down to the atrium, the city also offered mindfulness sessions right on your computer via Zoom.
To be mindful and present, you want to pay attention to how it feels in your body.
But waging peace in a city as big and diverse as Atlanta requires a full-court press of commitment. That's why many of the city's departments joined in to make sure young people especially have healthy alternatives to being on the street, like the continuation of the mayor's highly successful Midnight Basketball program. The goal here is simple and goes way beyond basketball. It's about connecting different communities through sportsmanship, team building, and ultimately, friendship.
I think oftentimes we focus on what it is that we don't want, which is gun violence, and not what it is that we want, which is peace. And so for Peace Month, we wanted to encourage people to consider their own personal actions for peacekeeping and peacemaking.
Over at the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs, Mayor Dickens met with community leaders to talk candidly about the Peace Week initiative.
February, when we had our very first Peace Week, we had 0 homicides that week. And again, I don't know if it was causation, but it certainly has some correlation. That the conversations we were having on the radio and the mindfulness exercises in the morning, the yoga.
Among those in the cohort were violence interrupters, volunteers who work behind the scenes anonymously and often at high risk to their own safety to keep the peace in the aftermath of violence, to stop it from spreading through retaliation.
There's hope in this because, for so long, we have felt like we hadn't been able to do anything about the violence. We see it on the news, we see it on social media, and we feel hopeless, we feel helpless. These are individuals from these very same communities that we're trying to impact. And so when you see someone coming back as an example of transformation, and they're coming back with the skills and the help and the support and the love, then that tells them in that community, I can be like you, I can follow your footsteps, I can follow your lead.
Oh, that's so nice and gentle.
During Peace Month, the Atlanta Police Department was also busy meeting with stakeholders, the ones still in daycare, introducing them to the many faces of law enforcement, because children are a critical part of their outreach.
You reach them at a young age so they can see exactly that we are good people, we're here to serve, we always want to give, and we always are approachable. That's the big thing we want to get across to these children.
As part of APD's ongoing faith and law enforcement program, police meet with religious leaders across the city and across denominations. On this day, they've gathered at the Al Farouk Masjid Mosque in Midtown to meet with the members there.
You want to bring the community in with all the religious groups in the city. If you have cohesion between law enforcement and the religious groups, then it makes for better community cohesion. You got to be able to understand our different cultures in the city.
Focusing on the inhales and the exhales.
There is a saying in yoga that whatever is within is also without. A personal symmetry that the mayor hopes will inspire more residents to pursue calm, thoughtfulness, and peace all year round. I'm Keith Whitney.